لا قول لي، احنا بنسجل دلوقتي على الهواء، لو عندك تجربة مباشرة
لا مش مع بي ام دبليو. لا مش مع بي ام دبليو.
اتفضل.
رجعنا لكم وحلقة جديدة من البودكاسترز، والنهاردة مكاننا مختلف زي ما انتم شايفين، البحر حوالينا والدنيا لذيذة ومشرقة، لان احنا دلوقتي في الجونة في فعاليات الجونة فيلم فيستيفال او مهرجان الجونة السينمائي مع بي ام دبليو، في بوث بي ام دبليو جنب عربية بي ام دبليو. فاحنا الحقيقة المستوى بقى راقي جدا. And I think I'm going to start with welcoming both of you. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Welcome to Egypt.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically الحلقة دي هتبقى انجلش شوية عربي شوية. معانا مستر انديل تحيا مصر من سي او بي ام دبليو هنا، ومعانا مسيو بول دو كارتيه دو كورتوا. You're French.
Yes.
Comment ça va?
I'll speak the French in this episode. So French, Arabic.
Let's try it.
No, that was it. Courtois. That's it.
Courtois.
Easy.
That's it.
So let's start with the most obvious question. BMW Automotive, right? What are you doing in a film festival?
So easy answer. So you know how many cars we are seen, we actually feature also in movies. And BMW is not only driving engineering and design, but also go into thrilling scenes and push filmmakers actually to go for even more creativity and storytelling with vehicles. So that's, I would say, very close connection. And we do also very much large storytelling. So not only displaying cars, but also tell nice stories to our customers. So it's a lot of interaction between car techs and film festival.
So you kind of have an influence on the movie scene or in the cinema tech.
We do. I mean, because we also drive the filmmakers with showcasing innovation. So it's also integrate into actually film stories and latest advancement of technology like connectivity, automation. So it opened up also some opportunity for filmmakers. Mm-hmm. So showing some things about driving technology they can also implement into their movies and enhance as well as action sequence.
Mm-hmm.
So
you always try to integrate with filmmakers, and you like to showcase different type of arts. Is that what you always try to do at BMW?
So we do actually, yes, integrate some technology. So, it's opened up some complete new era like artificial intelligence.
Yes.
So that's also something that we are showing now and for the first time. And as well, of course, showing the aspect not only about technology, but also very much about design and the art pieces which are behind cars.
Yeah, I heard, and correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that in Art Basel, you guys always are a part of Art Basel,
yeah.
Right? And I heard that this year or in 2023, you guys are showcasing AI visual, like a new concept that basically shows the technology and AI as a showcase in Art Basel. Is that correct?
Indeed. So, before being in this role, I used to be actually president for BMW in Switzerland. So, and over the years, every year we are a partner of Art Basel. And indeed, my last year with Art Basel, we presented the electric AI canvas, and which was an extension of the so-called virtual work from the ultimate AI masterpiece. And I was done on the new i5, so that's 100% electric car, which, by the way, is driving all around El Gouna city.
Yeah.
So
we came in one, so it was fun.
Yeah, and also partnering with artists, so contemporary artists, using as well the frame as I said, as a canvas for expressing as well their art.
الحلقة دي برعاية BMW Celebrating Art. مستر أنديل، تحيا مصر. السلام عليكم.
تحيا مصر.
عامل ايه؟ وحشنا يا جدع، قاعد في اخر الكنبه كده مش عارفين بالعربي كده يعني. انا باجي الجونه فيلم فيستيفال بقالي 6 أو 7 سنين، كلهم تقريبا جيتهم. ودايما علاقه اللي بيجي المهرجان بالعربيات ان هي بتنزل زي سبونسر، تمام، عشان توصل النجم من الاوتيل للريد كاربت. ده اللي احنا بنشوفه. بس بعد ما قعدت اذاكر قبل الحلقه دي اكتشفت ان هو الموضوع اكبر من كده بكتير، وان انتوا ليكوا علاقه بمهرجانات السينما، وليكوا علاقه بالاندستري نفسها، وليكوا علاقه بالفيلد. ازاي نقدر نفهم الناس علاقتكم بالمجال ده، انه مش بس ان احنا BMW اعلى بكتير من ان احنا نوصل ناس ونجيبها؟
هو زي ما انت قلت بالظبط، هي محتاجه شويه مذاكره، بس لما تذاكر هتلاقي انه BMW كل عربيه جديده بتتكلم عن ليتست تكنولوجي، اخر تكنولوجي. ولو رحت المتحف في المانيا هتلاقي العربيات اللي عليها ديزاينز ورسومات شخصيه بتاعت فنانين مشاهير جدا على العربيه من بره. وهتلاقي زي ما بول قال انه كان دايما في سينرجي وفي اتصال ما بين شركه BMW والاندستري بتاعت السينما. وطلعت في شكل عربيات من الفيوتشر او عربيات من المستقبل قبل ميعادها ان هي تظهر في افلام زي جيمس بوند والى اخره. فالكونكشن موجود من زمان قوي. زي ما اتفضلت انت في المقدمه، الموضوع اكبر بكتير من ان احنا بننقل السيلبرتيز او النجوم من اماكنهم للريد كاربت والى اخره. لا، الموضوع اكبر من كده بكتير. احنا بنعمل كونتنت ماركتنج من المهرجان كله بالكامل. احنا بنحاول ان احنا نوصل البريدج اللي بين BMW كبراند او كشركه او كعربيه او كمنتج، وبين الاندستري كلها بكل الناس اللي فيها. فطبعا ده تفاصيل كتيرة جدا مش عايزين نزعج الناس بيها او نتعبهم، لكن ده اللي احنا بنحاول دايما نتكلم عنه اكتر من مسألة الترانسبورتيشن من مكان لمكان.
I actually wanted to start the episode with a very bad joke. Can I say it now or is it too late?
No, don't. Come on.
Can I please? Do you know what I'm going to say?
Say.
Can you guess?
No, I don't want to guess.
All right. So my name is Basil Alzaro, but my full name is Basil Maher.
That's what I was.
Walid. Excuse me, please. Basil Maher Walid Alzaro. So the first 3 initials, Basil Maher Walid.
W.
Amazing.
So I think I deserve a car. Think about it.
So we have to look at the full name.
Take your time.
No, we have to take the full name.
Imagine there's another brand at the end of the name or something. Let's jump to something fun a little bit, which is the movies. And cars in movies, in some of the movies or most of the movies are a big part of the story, and even the frames makes the frames look much more beautiful when you have a beautiful car in it. And we've seen BMW in a lot of them, the Transporter, as you said, James Bond. There's a lot of movies, and then there's other brands and other like Transformers, where they put the car, made it a machine that talks and feels and loves and hates. How do you control? Because I'm from a cinema background. How do you control your guidelines within these movies? Because I know, for example, when we're filming something and we don't have the seat belt, it's a problem. We have to cut and do it again because safety for the people and everything like that. How do you control all these scenes with the action and the fire and the car flipping, and how do you see that? Is it fun, or do you actually go like, oh my God, this is very bad for the brand?
Actually, I mean, you probably know much more than I do on the way it is it is filmed. What I know is I mean, there's been a great expertise which have been developed over the years, and cooperation between films and of course cars and brands. So for sure, there are things which you can do and probably things you cannot do. But what I see, and you quote already a couple of movies, so Transporter, Mission Impossible, even James Bond. So there was also a quite long cooperation where we were featuring even at that time some special innovation which were not feasible at that time. So I think it's a good balance to be found, and as I said earlier, so giving some possibility as well to the filmmakers to not only feature characters but as well give some additional add-ons with cars. So as I said, it's a matter of being long into the industry. So striking to my mind, and that's something you didn't quote. So 2002, we started with also very short films featuring some stars like Madonna into a movie where everybody was surprised to see the car driving. I think it was in New York, an M5. So something which is by far not politically correct. So driving super fast. But at the end, I mean, it's also creating very much some buzz.
That was short movies done for BMW.
At that time, that was done for BMW.
Okay.
So that was,
And
it was 8 series from short films and showcases all the cars. But I was with Cliff Owen, as I said, Madonna, and so yeah.
And I think you guys also did that with The Hire, right? You produced short films for The Hire. That was the concept.
That's actually The Hire. You have exactly the name, and there was a famous director, so Thomas Scott
here.
And I still remember it. So that was 22 years ago, and
What's your favorite car?
I'm sorry. Just in case you wanna redo it in the Arab world, you've got your stars.
okay.
You've got Owen and Madonna here.
If I'll drive the car, then I'll take it. Madonna.
I agree to be Madonna. I'm gonna get the car.
Just give me the car. So what's your favorite car movie, BMW movie, a car that actually been used in a movie? What's your own favorite one?
I mean, my favorite, probably the one I still remember. So I told you very honestly, I mean, this one I remember because I think it was unusual. So something probably BMW never did before. After that, it's also very much related with the car display. So having said that, one of my favorite car from BMW is the Z8.
Z8?
And the Z8 for is
James Bond.
Yeah. So it's also a matter of cars with special design that we are featuring in his movies. So there was also another car which is very important for BMW. That's the i8. Of course, the i8 in the Mission Impossible. At that time, not everybody was speaking about electric car, so we brought a supercar, hybrid, carbon fiber produced,
Yes.
and in amazing scenes. So I think that's also which stays at the end. So that's the point of not only bringing innovation in the way of features, but I was super designed and artistic piece.
So I'm gonna ask a question in English to Paul, and then I'm gonna actually play a game with you in Arabic within the same question.
Okay.
Okay. So if you were in the briefing of a movie, right? Would you characterize each model of a car suits a specific actor, or does it work on anyone? Like, for example, if I told you, what do you think that the car looks like you, that suits you as Paul? And then you do it for us as well.
You got some very good questions. So, I guess, I mean, definitely you need to find as well some correspondence between
Relation between the car and the
cars
driver.
and characters. Last year, I think that was shown in Cannes Festival. There was a film named The Crown. And The Crown, the story was very much about as well the new i7. So, full electric car, high-end technology from BMW. So they build as well, not only matching the characters, but they build the scenario around, just to make sure as well that it has a coherence in cars. But I think, it's probably the same for characters. So I will hear the answer from Mohammed.
Muhammad بقى, I'm gonna make it actually much more harder.
more difficult.
Yeah, exactly. برافو. هقول لك بقى على شويه اسامي ممثلين كده عرب، وكل واحد تقول لي العربيه اللي انت شايف في رايك وتليق بيه. ويا جماعه نركز مع بعض، الراجل ده السي او بتاع BMW، فهو ما تحوروش يعني، هو ده اللي هيبقى عارف. تمام. فهنزلهم بقى، ما اعرفش الناس دي هتزعل ولا خلينا نبتدي بكريم عبد العزيز.
7 series.
ماشي. احمد عز.
X5 M60.
نيلي كريم.
420 convert.
I'm telling him actors' names in Egypt, and he's telling me what does he think that the car looks like, it suits this person. أحمد حلمي.
تريكي.
وقف.
X6.
ميني كوبر.
X6.
X6. كريم. عربية كارو.
بي بس من غير ان.
Mini convertible.
بجد؟
فعلا؟ ايه ده؟ انا شاب الكتريك كارز جدا على فكره، انا بحب. انا هتلاقيني في منها
فولي فولي ريكت.
ماشي كده.
طب وانا
من غير زعل بس.
لا ما زعلتش خالص.
M850.
شوف عارفها.
ده ايه الام 850
دي اكبر عربيه convertible في BMW 8 series.
ميرسي بوكو مسيو. ميرسي بوكو مسيو كنديل.
طب وليه من غير زعل؟
وهنستناك
اكيد مبسوط.
هنستناك بكره تحط الطلبيه.
حصل.
لا لو كده يبقى خليك M8.
We're waiting for him tomorrow to place an order for an M8.
Yeah. You know that kind of
mini convertible.
You know.
Yeah, the mini
For me,
convertible.
how much is
Electric.
the mini convertible? Is it cheaper than the M8?
Yeah.
Good, I'll
Yeah.
take it.
How do you see BMW supporting arts and culture?
Here as well, I mean, I think BMW has a long-standing tradition of supporting arts and from sponsoring cultural events and collaborating with artists. So also one of your first question was regarding Art Basel.
Yeah.
So I think it's still a good example because it's not here. It's not about displaying cars.
Mhm.
It's really about giving the stage to young artists regularly and make sure that they can promote their art pieces. So of course we speak about certain aspects which are common to BMW, and we also use the stage like I would say I think it was if I'm not mistaken, it was in 2022, so not last year, the year before, bringing the new i7. We also used the point to bring some new technology, so creating a chorus of heartbeats. So that was very interesting story, and then having some lights moving as well with the heartbeats. So that's this kind of things which are not only displaying cars, but giving also support for art. But answering your question is going beyond, of course, Art Basel. So you have also different events which are strongly supported by BMW, and I think in that case as well, Global Auto is very innovative and also moving forward. So with Art Egypt, so they have also some local initiatives which are not only related to purely displaying our product.
I wanted to ask actually about, since you've started talking about innovation, what are the new things in the pipeline for innovation from BMW? Is there something coming up that we should be waiting for?
Please say flying cars. We've been waiting for a long time since that movie that we've seen when we were young. It didn't happen so far. This is not acceptable.
Or at least the screen, the windshield needs to be touch.
زي Mission Impossible.
Yes.
زي Tom Cruise.
At least.
So he makes an accident
Yeah,
easier.
easy. Well, it can be only on the right side.
لا خليني بس اعلق قبل ما بول يرد just before you answer this touch screen يعني انك ده خلاص مش بعيد يعني موجود
but that's on
ده
the
سهل.
console.
حتى على السكرين ممكن تبقى موجودة يعني خلاص احنا وصلنا لمرحلة دلوقتي الهيد اب ديسبلاي بيبقى مش بيبقى زي كأنه بروجيكتور كده
ما انا عارف في الهدف زي في الاكس الجديده مثلا بيبقى فيه الحاجات
اول ما بدأت التكنولوجي كان بيبقى فيه سكرين مش باينه ورا الويند سكرين وبعدين بتعمل ريفليكشن خلاص
اوكي
بقى زي بروجيكتور فسهل جدا انه يبقى تاتش فده خلاص مش قصه يعني.
طب
خلينا نسمع بقى بول let's hear what Paul has to say about the new innovation.
What kind of secret I can tell you?
Yes, please.
Yes. I mean, one of the highlights for next year, beginning of the year after, so rather 2026. That's what we call in German the Neue Klasse. So
Neue Klasse.
Neue Klasse.
That's new classes that I can say. I'm German, French. I'm with you.
Wallah.
And actually it's a new platform, new generation of cars that will be launched, produced also in a complete new factories. So it's not only about car, but new way of producing cars.
So it's different factories than the factories you're producing your cars now.
Indeed. So that's also it's a factory now built in Hungary, in the city of Debrecen, and it's bringing also along one of the core value of our brand, which is sustainability. So we also would like not only to have cars with zero emission, but along the value chain, so from production until the end that the car is recycled, make sure that we reduce the CO2 footprint from our car. So with that, I mean, that's maybe not the aspect you were expecting into a new future.
This is not what I'm expecting. And
I will tell you something.
I love the environment, but I like touching.
Sustainability. I don't.
About touching screen, and that's more appealing to your questions. The car has been displayed as well in Las Vegas and CIS, and the car will come with a new head-up display. So meaning integrating some not only some augmented reality features. So you have in your windscreen, all the information will be displayed and will be merged also with some view on the road, and that will be also coming with the Neue Klasse. So having said that, I cannot tell you much because if I saw the car, I haven't seen the finished version, but that will be some kind of breathtaking innovation. That's something. It's in a way that's a new generation of cars also coming fully electric. So that would be great.
I think you guys thought I was joking, but I'm actually very serious about the flying cars. Why is there no flying cars so far? It's been in movies for a long time, and the technology, I don't think it's that crazy to do. And you guys are always a pioneer in when it comes to tech in cars. What's stopping you?
Before thinking about flying cars, I think many topics have to be now tackled by the automotive industry. So it's also a matter of, first of all, priority. So where should we invest still to be sustainable as a company, and just make sure as well that automotive is seen.
But it's not a crazy idea.
It's not a crazy idea, but it's also, being a private company, you definitely need to decide in which direction you have to invest and you want to invest. So because even going before the so-called flying car, there is one innovation that we've been speaking for years, and which also could be very applicable before flying cars, and that's fully automated cars.
Yes.
So
that's available now to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, and
it's not hammered 100%.
Of course, but it's
and here
like in San Francisco
again. I mean, speaking about being front runner, so BMW is at the forefront in the technology. So now we are selling new 7 Series in Germany with so-called level 3 of automated technology, but that's still not at the so-called level 5 in this scale. So level 5 will be, without steering wheel, without pedals. So you could actually do something completely different in your car. And that's back to my career path. I used to work as well a couple of years in Singapore. For such a country, such a developed and advanced country, I mean, one of the most critical issues they are facing is lack of space. It's an island, 700 square kilometers, and the space which is actually occupied on the road by cars, parked cars, transport, etc., is actually eating a lot of space for the island. So if you could go in a direction of having cars running all around the clock, being used 24/7, to a certain extent, you will reduce as well the number of cars, increase the usage of car. And that's something which is probably more practical than, of course, a vision of flying cars. I mean, flying cars, there are different things which have to come to be concrete. I mean, I don't think we will be ready soon with regulation. So making it as a large scale in cities, I think still a few challenges to be tackled.
So when are we in Egypt are going to get self-driving cars?
Where we have lanes. We don't have lanes. When you have lanes,
and it's a good question, because I think the different, I mean, companies, and I can speak only for BMWs, we decided that we will piece by piece bring features which are bringing more safety and comfort to the drivers. So, and that's coming step by step. But at the end, it has also to be some kind of a business case. So it means people have also to be ready to pay for the innovation and technology.
Okay, talking about safety
and finance and culture.
Talking about safety, and this is going to be, Mr. Andil will understand me more. Why do I feel that cars in general, not just BMW, all the industry, they went from cars like tanks زي 128 والحاجات الحلوة اللي هي ما بيحس تلاجة ماشية, and it flipped by time into much lighter and thinner material that if you get an old car and you bump it in a wall on a 20 kilometers an hour, for example, and you get a new car, whatever it is, the new car is going to be total loss. But the old car is going to be like cracked a little bit. Is that true, or am I imagining?
The technology now is definitely probably making certain way of repairing the car not as it used to be. So if you integrate, I mentioned earlier, so carbon fiber, so you definitely need to be equipped, and that it's not something you can actually fit into your garage. So that's one aspect. So technology is making probably a car still very much repairable, because I told earlier about the topic of sustainability and reuse materials. So that's one of the main challenges for the automobile industry. So we have to, and we are doing it. So the share of reuse materials in a car is increasing every time. The second aspect, which is somehow guiding now the way we are building cars, is safety. So you have many more safety today than you used to have in the past, and safety not only for the driver but for the pedestrian. So it's about having some technology which are better absorbing shock, so which can also give you the impression that the car is more destroyed than it used to be. But
so you basically looked at it from another angle.
That's a way of, I mean, it's very much a way of kinetic energy that you absorb.
It absorbs the
خايفين على الناس أكتر من العربيات. إحنا عندنا بنخاف على العربية أكتر من البني آدم. إيه رأي معنيك طيب؟ معلش.
لا، هو ببساطة شديدة التكنولوجي اتطورت جدا جدا. العربيات القديمة اللي كنت بتتكلم عليها كانت عبارة عن مكونات أساسية وبسيطة جدا، والماتيريالز المستخدمة كانت زمان مختلفة عن المستخدم دلوقتي. مع التطور التكنولوجي تطور كمان الكالتشر بتاع اللي بيركبوا العربيات. وزي ما قال بول السيفتي، الاحساس بالسيفتي زاد. اللي بيركب العربيه عايز يشوف بتجيب كام بسرعه وبتعمل ايه وفي الملفات بتعمل ايه والى اخره. كل ده خلى العربيه اكثر تعقيدا، وبالتالي وجه كل مصنعين السيارات انه يجيبوا ماتيريال اخف اللي هو حضرتك بتقول عليه ده،
مم.
مستحملش، مش زي الحديد القديم ستيل، زمان ستيل شيت. دلوقتي بقى فيه ماتيريالز مختلفة، بالإضافة لعوامل السيفتي الكتيرة قوي في العربية خلت إنه العربية فيها حاجات ما بتبقاش باينة لك لكن هي شغالة اوريدي، فدي بتحسسك برضو إنه الخبطة لا أثرت كتير قوي، بس هي مش دي الحقيقة أو
بس هو شال وحظ يعني. هو زمان مثلا ما كانش فيه ايرباجز بتهيألي، فبقى مش عارف ايه
انت لو اخدنا النموذج بتاعك ال 128 يعني لما كنت بتلف في لفه كده لو زودت السرعه شويه كنت بتعمل ايه العربيه؟ بس ده مش موجود دلوقتي في عربيات النهارده. ازاي مش موجود في عربيات النهارده؟ فكل ده على فكره لا هو كل ده، بس انا عايز اقول لك كل ده زود وزن العربيه، فحط المصنعين في تحدي. طب ازاي احط الايكويبمنت بتاعه السيفتي
من غير ما
وما زودش قوي وزن العربيه؟ وزن العربيه هيعمل حمل على البارت ويت ريشيو، هيعمل حمل على الباور اللي طالع من الانجن كمان. فكل ما هيزيد الوزن هيزيد الحاجه لباور اكتر في الانجن، يبقى هيكبر الانجن، وبالتالي كانت معادله واصله لمراحل كده بعيده قوي. فطبعا لازم نخفف ماتيريال شويه. تخفيف الماتيريال ده اللي يمكن ادالك الاحساس ده، بس ده مش حقيقي برضه.
عندي سؤال بقى سينمائي جدا.
اتفضل.
احنا ما فيش اي خطه لاي حاجه افلام تبقى برضو بي ام تخش فيها قوي، تبقى هي بي ام مثلا، تبقى هي الحاجه الاساسيه او كده في مصر، تبقى مثلا يعني لو اولاد رزق مثلا العربيات كلها بي ام حاجات كده،
شريك في الانتاج ولا
تبقى شريك في الانتاج، او ان هم يخشوا يسيطروا على فيلم يبقى هو الفيلم تماما
يعملوا ديل ان العربيات كلها تبقى بي ام دبليو يعني.
في حاجه كده في الخطه؟
لا هو مفيش حاجه كده في الدنيا يعني، لكن هو دايما
اصلا تيجي على الله.
لكن هو دايما يعني دايما ده برضو مفهوم عند الناس موجود يعني. احنا وكيل لشركه بي ام دبليو، وبالتالي عشان نعمل حاجه زي دي ونحط البراند ونستخدمه لازم هم بي ام دبليو يوافقوا على ده. فهو في النهايه زي ما انا اديت مثال وزي ما حضراتكم اديتوا مثال على الافلام ميشن امبوسيبل وترانسبورتر وجيمس بوند، دي بتبقى اتفاقات طبعا على مستوى المصنع نفسه، لان هو اللي بيبقى عنده الاستعداد انه يعمل حاجه زي دي، ويقدر يراعي كمان زي ما قال بس في خطوط حمراء ما تقدرش تحط العربيه فيها او تطلعها فيها او الى اخره. وفي خطوط حمراء حتى في التكنولوجي، انت سالت من شويه عن التكنولوجي، في حاجات طبعا جديده طالعه وفي حاجات جايه في الطريق والى اخره. فهو طبعا اللي بيقدر يحط او زي ما بيقولوا تدرو ذا لاين، ايه اللي يبان وايه اللي ما يبانش وايه اللي ممكن ندي عنه هنت. يعني انا زي ما قلت لك في اجابه السؤال اللي فات، في ميشن امبوسيبل كان في زي ما قال بول كان في تكنولوجيا لسه ما طلعتش، كان في حاجات بانت في الموفي ما كانتش لسه الناس شافتها كوميرشالي، بعد كده شافوها كوميرشالي اند سو اون.
طب خلينا خلاص يبقى لو كده خلينا في مصر والكوكيل. عندي سؤال بقى، انا اخر سؤال قبل ما نرجع لمستر بول بقى.
واضح انه شخصي ده.
استلام العربيات.
He wants to buy a car, so basically just to cut it short because they are speaking in Arabic. This guy has been trying to buy a car for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, and every time he puts the down payment, they tell him you're gonna take it I don't know when, and then it never happens, and then he takes his money.
It's not just
he goes to another brand and he puts the money, and then because in Egypt we have all these problems with the export and import.
اخبار الاستلام ايه يا جماعه؟
لا قول لي، احنا بنسجل دلوقتي على الهواء، لو عندك تجربه مباشره
لا مش مع بي ام، لا
مش
مع بي ام دبليو.
اتفضل.
لا بسأل اخبار الاستلام عامه دلوقتي ايه؟ يعني خلاص كل حاجه موجوده، كل الموديلات موجوده، ناس بتستلم، ولا ايه الاخبار؟
I just said the risky bit and I asked if you have an experience with BMW, just go
no
and thanks God it was not BMW.
It's not BMW. No.
لا في طبعا في اتاحه
فخلاص كل الموديلات كله
بالنسبه لنا احنا
اوكي.
احنا عملنا طبعا تركيبه تتناسب مع الظروف الحاليه اللي بتمر بيها البلد، احنا جزء من البلد يعني، فعندنا مجموعه عربيات بنجمعها في مصر ومجموعه اخرى بنستوردها والى اخره. قد يكون التسليم يتاخر شويه، يجي بدري شويه، لكن ده كله في حدود المقبول يعني.
اوكي.
Okay, back to the cinema and the art and the designs and the fun and the colors and the cars, the sexy cars. It's really funny they say this car has curves. It's like Yeah, BMW, the car with curves. Anyway, how do you implement the designs and the art? Because usually art is crazy. For me, I'm an artist. I think I'm a little bit crazy, right? The colors and the way the sculpture stuff. And how do you implement it on your cars? Because obviously you encourage it, but at the same time you don't lose the engineering facts and the aerodynamic systems and all that within the body of the car itself. How do you like this question? Very deep.
It requires some reflection. But I think it's also something which has been working good for years. So, and I wanted to give you some words about probably what you know, the so-called art cars. You know the BMW art cars?
Yes, the art cars. Yes.
So that's a cooperation between BMW
And artists.
and artists. Been ongoing since 1975. So I think quite a long time. And it's still going on. So meaning that we are still regularly having some cooperation between an artist and the BMW cars, usually taking part into Le Mans race. So also giving...
This is one of the most famous races. In the
one
world.
of the most famous race. And of course, it's still very much connected with race, speed, and being integrated into the car, which obviously will take part into the race. And this kind of cooperation, back to 1975, started with famous artists like Andy Warhol. And going further, now one of the last was Jeff Koons. So that's showing as well that it's not only from BMW's side, but it's creating story, which also matching with certain ideas of these crazy artists that you were speaking about. So they are showcased now on the prestigious events. So I spoke about Le Mans race, but now also going through exhibition around the world. And at that time, that was very much connected with so-called pop art. So at the end, you probably know better than I do. So pop art was featuring as well all some kind of industrial products or consumer goods which were never seen as part of an art piece before. So that's also this way of finding a path which could become and could be seen as art later on.
Do they get sold at any point of time, those cars?
No.
Never.
They are priceless.
Yeah, that's why.
That's a good answer. Because they're priceless, my friend.
This guy has a lot of money. He can buy a couple.
That's a fun question. Do you tailor make cars for specific people?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. For BMW, we have departments which individualize car probably as much as you'd like to. But we have also a dedicated brand in our portfolio named Rolls-Royce. And a few weeks ago, we were together with Mohammed in Goodwood, so in, I would say, the birth city of Rolls-Royce. And we had the chance to visit the factories. And believe me, being now in the branch for quite a while, I was really amazed with the so-called craftsmanship that they are putting behind each and every pieces. So you can ask whatever you want.
Yeah,
they will produce, and that's not something which will be made over 10 or 15 cars. That's something which will be unique. So that's something actually which is, I'm not saying it's gaining interest, but you have definitely customers very much interested in creating their own.
but is it just customization on a model or something from scratch?
It's not something from scratch.
Okay.
So it's not. Please give me your
Yeah.
sketches, and I will build your car. So it's about
Looks like a duck.
but it's close to, because
Yes.
we also do some very, very small series.
Okay.
So we are now in Concurso de Eleganza this year, display a car which has never been produced, limited at 50 pieces. And 50, it's not one, but that's it's not big. And that's something which is
50 in the world.
50. Yeah.
Still, it's not.
It's not 50 in the world.
That is
Like,
nothing. Yeah.
That's
I'll get you one. No, I'll get myself one. Why would I get you one? That wasn't right.
that's perfect. Actually.
Delete.
So I also, one of the things that I noticed that you guys do is in Africa, you're starting a lot of initiatives when it comes to the film industry. So some of them were within the lines of like creating like partnerships with different creators and making short movies and repository of all the movies and stuff. Can you explain why did you start something like this?
So we are very much interested into cooperation with film festival. So we haven't spoken a lot about Laguna Film Festival, but it's also something that we are very happy with. That's Chloé Lauto is been partnering now for 2 years. And I think
Cannes as well, right?
so Cannes is not far from Africa, but it's not Africa, so always no, still in Africa. We've been now for almost 10 years in Marrakesh.
Marrakesh.
And also very interesting. So also still every year picking up. I think they will now be the 10th edition next year. So and as I told you earlier, so it's a way of discovering some areas and giving some visibility to artists. And for that, there are plenty of them also in Africa, of course. I told you earlier one thing about the so-called art cars. The latest one was designed by an artist named Julie Meretou. I don't know if you heard the name. And she has as a project now for the upcoming months to support the Pan-African tour, a Pan-African tour for her as an artist, and also make sure that at the end we support the production of films, of short films, of new filmmakers who probably would not have the same platform. They would not be supported or helped by this renowned artist. So I think that's also very interesting. It's very much about enhancing creativity, whatever there are potentials.
And the artists, or you guys pick the artists, or do they win so that they can collaborate?
So far, I can speak about Art Basel because I know.
Okay.
We there is some kind of a competition. So we bring them together and they compete for a project, and one will be picked up. In the case of the art card, I don't think so. I think we probably know which artists we are into are more interested, but don't quote me on that. I don't know the selection process.
Okay. And so all those initiatives, how do you pick the countries that you're starting now? For example, like you have Marrakesh, you've got Guna Film Festival. Is there a reason where you pick Egypt, for example, and then you pick Morocco? Is there a selection process? How do you guys do that?
Well, here I'm also turning towards Mohamed, because it's very much depending on our importers. So and the willingness to be as well.
Okay.
Where their customers are as well. Also and also picked up events which are the most appealing or having the more potential for the country. So same in Morocco. So we have a long-lasting cooperating importer for 25 years, and it's also definitely something valuable for them. And you said about Cannes. Cannes is quite new, so I think that will be the third edition last year, but also very interesting actually.
So one of the biggest film festivals in the world.
Indeed,
So
yeah.
that's something. Where is the Egyptian market in comparison to the region when it comes to the BMWs?
Best importers in the world.
So to acquire.
هات الطبلة يا ابني.
عربية بقى على البيت على البيت.
No, I mean I can very transparently, because we spend the last 24 hours together with Mohammed and the team reviewing some came mostly for Guna Festival, but also to speak about business.
Of course.
And we are very happy with the development of BMW and Global Auto in Egypt. I mean, Egypt is a very large country. It's a big nation, and we believe that there are potential for brands like we are representing. So BMW and Mini. So therefore, we are very happy to have founded a partner who is willing to invest, who is willing to develop, who is willing to also give some and build some legacy in the country. So we are speaking about a group who has a factory with training young people, with hiring also young people. So, speaking about employment as well in the country. So that's all the things which are making for us relevant as well to be present in Egypt.
Very diplomatic, Monsieur Paul. Very diplomatic.
All right. So you want me to be less diplomatic?
Very, yes. Yes. I want to know, how big is Egypt when it comes to a luxury car? Because
He wants to know the ranking, globally.
So here, that's not depending on my quote, because you can easily look at the figures
exactly
of cars sold in Egypt, so registered. And if you ask me what's my expectation, they're of course higher. I think Egypt again, and that's coming back. You said it's diplomatic answer, but I believe, and I told also to Mohammed, Global Auto did not make an investment for staying at a low level of sales. I mean, the market deserves itself higher potential, higher volume. So I fairly believe into that. I think we have definitely some potential there.
I have a question
طب خلينا اسالك انت السؤال ده.
قول.
انت ايه رايك في بي ام دبليو بعد سنتين من رجوعها لمصر؟ احنا بقى
ايه ده لا هو رجعت اصلا.
احنا بقى لنا سنه
الحمد لله على السلامة.
الحمد لله على السلامه اصلا. هو اصلا
خلاص هو ده
كانتش موجوده.
احسن اجابه لل
ايه ده لا ده انا كنت هسال سؤال تاني خالص اصلا.
لا اسال التاني.
اسالك بقى كمان التاني. ايه اكتر عربيه بي ام بتتباع في مصر؟
بي ام دبليو.
سوري بي ام دبليو.
بي ام دي كأنك فيسبوك فيس انستجرام انستا. بي ام دبليو او بي ام في. Right? Am I right? BMW?
In German, yeah,
BMW.
in Germany.
ايه اكتر واحده؟
ده سؤال حلو قوي. historically يعني تاريخيا كانت ال 3 سيريز. من ساعة احنا ما رجعنا لا في 3 سيريز وفي الاكس 1 وفي ال 5 سيريز بقى في مجموعة عربيات بتتنافس مين الأحسن. يعني استقبال الناس للعربيات من وقت ما رجعنا بقى وعملنا التعديلات اللي عملناها والسيرفيس والضمان والى اخره، لا الامور بتاخد شكل مختلف شويه عن اللي كنا متعودين عليه في ال20 سنه اللي فاتوا مع البراند في مصر.
انا فاكر الاكس 1 اللونش مصر كلها كانت بتتكلم على الاكس 1.
انا
فاكر كانت حرب اصلا مين هيلحق يشتري اكس 1. انا فاكر.
ايوه
مش احنا كنا مدينا اكس 1 في الشغل زمان؟
لا اكس 3
البيضه دي
اكس 3 شغل. ما كانش في 1 اصلا ساعتها، غالبا ما كانش في اكس 1 اصلا.
ممكن
الكلام ده في 2008.
لا 2008 ما كانش فيه لسه اكس 1. صح.
فهي بس الباقي دلوقتي يعني اكتر موديل دلوقتي بيكبر فيهم كلهم. السرعه في الجروث رايحه فين؟
زي ما قلت لك ال 3 سيريز والاكس 1 وال 5 سيريز تقريبا بيتنافسوا يعني.
بس ال 5 سيريس رغم ان سعرها اكيد في حته تانية خالص عن ال 3 سيريس.
بس هو سعرها غالي، لكن بالمقارنة بالمنافسين اللي في الفئة ما زالت هي أحسن عربية
كومباريزن لنفس الليفل بتاع
أحسن اوفرينج من حيث العربية، التكنولوجي، السايز، السعر.
صح.
يعني احنا بنبص دايما الأمور بالطريقة دي يعني.
أنا عايز أستغل الفرصة since we say whatever we want on this podcast, to be honest. We just say anything we want, and I want to take the advantage and thank your team actually for all the work that they helped us to make this happen. They're amazing.
Thank you.
All of them. We met like 7-8 people.
Yeah.
They're doing magic. So you built up a great team.
That's our team. You meet like 7 or 8 people, but you feel around the work they are more than 100.
Yeah. No, really good.
Yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Thank you.
And that's why you said, I mean, my answer was diplomatic, but that's, you confirm. I mean, that's exactly the same. I mean, that's an amazing team. So, as you said, we've been working for the past 2 years, and they are doing an amazing job.
They are, yeah. They are.
So it's not diplomatic.
The diplomatic is when we say in Egypt, it's like when I tell you what was your grade in school, you tell us like 3.4. You don't say, I was actually very good. There was Tony next to me and he was getting not very good grades, but I was this, you know what I mean? So you put it in a sentence, which is beautiful, but I'm waiting for the number. So I'm the number guy and he's the
Diplomatic.
Yes.
diplomatic. We continue each other.
And we were just saying that before those 2 years, yes, BMW made a massive comeback in the Egyptian market. For a while, it was just not there. It wasn't really competing, and then all of a sudden, BMW is back. So that's exactly what we were just saying. And yes, these guys are doing an amazing job.
Are you ready for the red carpet?
I'm looking forward to it.
Because it's your first time, right?
Yes, yeah. You know, I mean, a new kid on the block. You know?
You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna see the fun, crazy part of Egypt tonight.
All right.
So stay
Sounds
excited. Stay excited. It's gonna be amazing. We thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I know this is all of it. It's your baby, but it's our baby as well. So we thank you so much. Mr. Ndil, نورتنا. لينا قاعدة بقى بعد كده.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. عايز تقول حاجة؟
لا عايز يحجز عربية بس.
بالظبط كده.
Do you have anything else to say before we start getting suited up and
Well,
party?
thank you very much from my side, and I'd like to take advantage of your experience. You told me that you will be 2 times tonight on the red carpet,
Yeah.
so please don't let me down.
No. I've put my eyes on you. Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
هذه كانت حلقتنا اليوم مع ملوك العربية الشقية. واستنونا في حلقات تانية في الجونة فيلم فيستيفال مع BMW. وستay tuned. باي باي.